In the aquarium, minimize the cost, maximize the volume assignment. You will be designing an aquarium for Mr. Rothany's classroom, and you need to know how much glass, that's surface area and dimensions, as well as the volume in gallons, the aquarium will hold. You do not want to spend more than $100 towards the glass. However, you want to maximize the volume in gallons and view Mr. Rothany and his students will have while minimizing the cost and use of materials. Your design for this aquarium will take place in part 2 of the assignment. Now, information you will need for both part 1 and part 2 is the following. The thickness of glass for aquariums ranges from 6 millimeters to 20 millimeters, depending on the dimensions. On average, the thickness is 9 millimeters and the cost per square inch of 9 millimeter glass is 9 cents. Now let's go ahead and begin part 1. In part 1, your job is to calculate the surface area of the front view, total surface area of the aquarium, cost of the glass, volume of the aquarium in cubic inches, and the volume of the aquarium in gallons of each of the 4 given sets of measurements. So there are 4 sets of measurements. We have Aquarium 1, which is already filled out for you here, and we'll discuss Aquarium 2, which you'll need to complete on your own using Aquarium 1 as a guide. Aquarium 3, which you will complete on your own by using Aquarium 1 as a guide. And then Aquarium 4, which you'll complete using this example problem that we'll discuss as a guide. Notice the 4th one is cylinder in shape, not rectangular prism. Now, in Aquarium 1, you're given the dimensions: length 20 inches, width 10 inches, and height 12 inches. Given these dimensions, we have to first identify those parts of the aquarium. The length, we will consider the bottom front of this rectangular prism or this aquarium. So where I'm tracing over is the length. Here, along the side, is the width, and from bottom to top is the height. So keep this in mind. We have the length, the width, and the height. Now, if you were trying to find the surface area of the front view, you would have to determine that what you need to find is the length times the height. In this case, this length times this height gives us the front face or the front glass of this aquarium. Here, therefore, we have 20 inches for the length and 12 inches for the height. So 20 inches times 12 inches is equal to 240 square inches, which you write as inches power of 2. In order to be able to type your exponent, you would go over to the format after you type a 2, highlight that 2, go to text here, and select superscript. So a superscript is what allows you to get this exponent view. So square inches. Now that you know the surface area of the front view, you would have to find the total surface area of the aquarium. In reality, when talking about the total surface area, we would normally count the front, the back, the left, the right, the top, and the bottom. However, in the context of this problem, the total surface area for us is really only the glass, because that's what we are calculating, the glass and its cost. So now we're only going to figure out the front, back, left, and right sides. And use those 2 to figure out the total glass area. We will not, again, calculate the top and bottom for our purposes of this problem. So to find the front and back, we would take the length and height, which is what we already did here to find the front view. So in our case, I just copied pasted this into this section, and then I multiplied by 2, because when multiplying by 2, that takes into account not only the front, but also the back, which is the same size as the front. So the total surface area of the front and back would be 480 square inches. After calculating the area of the front and back, you would have to calculate the area of the left side and the right side. In this case, the left and right is made up of the width and the height. Width by height. So the width times the height, 10 inches times 12 inches, is 112 square inches. And once you figure out the area of one of those faces, you multiply by 2 to find the total area of both left and right together. So the left and right side have a total surface area of 240 square inches. Lastly, to find the total glass area, that's the front, back, left, and right, we add up right here 480 square inches, which was the sum for the front and back, and 240 square inches, which was the sum for the left and right. And when you add those two together, you have a total of 720 square inches of glass. Now that you know the total amount of glass you need for Aquarium 1, you keep in mind that in the section above, we pointed out that the cost per square inch is 9 cents. We take the 720 square inches, we multiply that 720 by 9 cents, or 0.09, and that gives us a total of 64.8. When you take 64.8 and turn it into a money value, we add the 0 at the end and type the money or dollar sign, and therefore we have a total of $64.80 just for the glass. Keep in mind that doesn't take into consideration any other material that would be used to make your custom aquarium. Next, to find the volume of the aquarium in cubic inches, you would find the length times the width times the height. When you multiply length by width times height, this gives you the volume of your rectangular prism, or aquarium in this case. Remember, the dimensions are 20 by 10 by 12. Therefore, 20 inches times 10 inches times 12 inches should give you the result, 2,400 cubic inches. Power of 3 is read cubic inches in this case, because we are in the third dimension. Lastly, to convert volume of aquarium into gallons, we simply type the following in Google: 2,400 cubic inches, and we wrote that out in words, and then we ask Google to convert this to gallons. So you can type the following: 2,400 cubic inches to gallons, and you will search your result here in Google. Notice the result we are given is 10.38961 gallons. We round to the nearest tenth, so one number after the decimal. That 8 bumps the 3 up to a 4. Therefore, we end up with 10.4 gallons. Use this section as a guide to complete numbers 2 and 3, or Aquarium 2 and 3. You can simply copy all of this into part 1, or Aquarium 1. Consider this section done after copying it, and then move on to Aquarium 2 and 3. The next part of the video will help you complete Aquarium 4. So you can pause this for now and come back to the next section when you're ready. To complete Aquarium 4, I created this example that has a separate set of dimensions than those in your given problem. In your problem, you will use 24 inches for the diameter and 36 inches for the height. In our example, we will use 30 inches for the diameter and 48 inches for the height. What you have to know is that to find the surface area of the side view, which in this case is the whole distance around the cylinder-shaped aquarium, you have to think about that aquarium. If you were to open it up, if we can take that aquarium, slice it down, and unravel it, open it out flat into a two-dimensional piece. The original piece then would have been a rectangular shape. If we unravel it, open it up, we have a rectangular shape which is made up of a length and width. In this case, the length happens to be the circumference, which is 2 pi r, and the height of that rectangle, or the width of it, is the height of the cylinder. So this formula, 2 pi r, comes from the length and width of that rectangular shape when you unravel the cylinder. Now, we start by taking 2 pi and just copying it over. For the radius, notice I typed 15. Yet there's no 15 given here. That's because if you keep in mind, the diameter is the distance across a circle, going all the way across the circle, crossing through the center. The radius is always half of that diameter. Half of 30 is 15. Therefore, we plug in 15 for the radius. The height of the cylinder would be the height that we are given here, 48 inches. So I plug in 48 here. Now it's a matter of typing this into your calculator. So in your calculator, whether you use an online calculator or you use a handheld calculator or a phone, you would type 2 pi times 15 times 48. If you can't find the pi symbol on your calculator, which would give you the most precise answer, you can simply use 3.14 in its place. So you can type 2 times 3.14 times 15 times 48. And you may get a slightly different answer than this one if you use 3.14 instead of pi, but as long as it's close enough. Now, if you're trying to find the total surface area of the aquarium, this would count not only the area around the glass, but in this case, we're also finding the area of the top and bottom, even though that value is not going to be used for the cost of the glass. So for the total surface area of this aquarium, we're actually finding the true total surface area, counting the top and bottom. So to count not only the side, which is 2 pi RH, so notice this piece along the right-hand side of this equation is what you already calculated. We are also going to calculate the top and bottom. How we do that is we type 2 pi r squared. Why? Pi r squared, remember, is the area or the formula for the area of a circle. The top and bottom of this aquarium is circular in shape. Therefore, we use pi r squared. Multiplied by 2 is what counts both top and bottom. So again, to get to the next step, you keep the 2 pi, you replace the r with the radius, which we said is 15, and then we use that second part of this formula, which is what we already used on this section here. So now, when you type all of this into your calculator or take it piece by piece, you should end up with a total of about 5,938 square inches for the total surface area in this example problem. I recommend before you attempt your problem, actually type this in the calculator and make sure in your calculator you get this answer. That's what will let you know that you're using your calculator correctly. Then do the same with this one. Type this in your calculator. If you're also getting this answer correctly in your calculator, you know you're typing everything correctly into your calculator. That will help make sure when you get to your problem in Aquarium 4, you know how to use the calculator properly to determine your final answers. So in the next section, for the cost of the glass, you will have to take the total surface area of the side view, which was 4,524 square inches. We multiply that number by 0.09, which again is the cost of the glass or average cost per square inch of glass, so 9 cents. And that gives you a total of $407.25. Next, to find the volume of the aquarium, you would have to use the volume formula of a cylinder, which is pi r squared times h. In other words, it's the area of a circle, pi r squared, times the height. That is what gives you the volume of a cylinder. So you replace r with 15, because we determined that is the value of the radius. Replace the height with 48, because that was given to us. And again, type this into your calculator. You should get 33,929 cubic inches. Because we are considering that this is a volume, we have to remember to use the third degree here. So it's in the third dimension. So 33,929 cubic inches. And just like in the previous section, to convert this to volume in gallons, we allow our friend Google to help us out. So now we're talking about 33,929 cubic inches. So I'm going to use cubic inches, and we're looking at 33,929, 33,949, right? 29. So 29. And that gives us approximately 146.87. So this 7 bumps this 8 to a 9. So, or actually, in this case, just round to the nearest whole number. There's no need to include decimals. So this is to the nearest gallon, 147 gallons. That's a good enough approximation. Be sure to email me with any questions, or most importantly, join the Google Meets where you can get the in the moment live help. See you then. Take care.